So I actually had a dream for it was my oldest son, his dream. And this will be the first dream that I've actually had interpreted for him. So pretty excited about it. Okay, so this dream, it was pretty short. So he was in a high school with a group of kids, and they were walking in the high school towards the gym. And once they got into the gym, there was a girl there, and she had like dark black hair. He said he remembers seeing like a volleyball net in the dream. You should just tell them. Okay, and to the right there were chairs. And this girl that he said she looked kind of like dark or gothic. Anyway, so all of a sudden he saw that something invisible was like messing with her legs and trying to like pull her away into this dark hallway. And he said that she was just like struggling and trying to like stand up and, get away or whatever, but it just kept like grabbing her legs and pulling her into this dark hallway. So Noah noticed it, and instantly he thought that it was a demon of some sort. And so he began to rebuke the demon and command that it, leaves her alone. And then he woke up. So he didn't see whether or not she was released or okay or anything. He just woke up from there.
Wow. How old is he?
16.
Okay, so it represents his life right now. He's obviously in high school. He was walking towards the school, which is a place of learning. He saw a girl there, which I don't know if it has any significance other than he might actually run across somebody like this that is being tormented and would be a girl. The whole idea of a volleyball net there represents entanglement.
Yeah.
The idea of the chairs represents an audience. But he said chairs, he didn't say full of people.
No.
So it represents the potential of an audience, like a stage, like this could happen in front of people, but not necessarily people you see.
Okay.
Could represent the cloud of witnesses. Excuse me.
Judges.
Say again?
I heard judges.
Judges. That's interesting. Yeah. And so he was brought in to help the girl. The girl was already bound by something in that she had a dark apropos to her of some sort, whether it was how she dressed, how she did her makeup. He called her goth-like. And so there's something there there's something there that's already doesn't, there's something there that is oppressing her. Let's just say that. Okay. The idea of entangling her feet and dragging her into a dark hallway is the idea of wanting to transition her, wanting to take her into a dark transition. Now, in this era of gender confusion and everything else, the word transition can mean a whole lot more different things than going from one room to another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So the idea of dragging her, cutting her leg, didn't cut her legs off, but kind of grabbed her legs out from underneath her.
To trip her. That's kind of just trip her up. Trip
her up. Loss of forward momentum. Not able to move, not able to navigate, not able to move forward, and to drag her into I just hear a dark transition that could be transitioning from playing with, spells into full-on witchcraft. It could be a gender thing. It could be, an abortion. It could be any number of things that are forces that can certainly be undone. But once you're in that hallway, you're in a difficult spot.
Yeah.
A whole lot of things that are, the enemy wants to make his hold on her permanent.
Yeah.
So right now it's more of an aesthetic thing. It's just how she's known and how she dresses. But he wants to full on grab her and take her, have her entangled. And your son is sent in for several reasons. One, to identify what's happening, which he does as a seer. He's a dreamer, but in the dream, he's also a seer, which in the waking part of his experience in the dream, he's able to see it, call it out, and help the girl, right? And so he begins to do spiritual warfare. And what happens? Is the girl released?
We couldn't. He was. It was like she was dragged around a corner, a dark hallway corner. Sorry, I'm using my hands, but you can't see them. Yeah, so she was dragged into like down a hallway and into a corner, or around a corner, I guess, into a dark hallway. Was it around a corner? Oh, sorry, it was just down a dark hallway.
Okay, and then he started rebuking it after she was dragged.
Was it while she was being dragged?
Probably while she was still in the gym.
Yeah, while being dragged. He was like seeing this invisible thing trip her up and start to drag her, and he just sensed what it was and began to rebuke it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The gym is a place of exercise, and it was important to keep her in that room because that's where exorcisms are done, or could be done in this case. It was important that she didn't get to the place of transition out in the hallway. So him rebuking it before she got out the door was kind of supreme discernment on his part.
Yeah.
And, it goes to show what John said, his spiritual gift, but of being able to see into the spirit, which is kind of cool that he was able to see the demon that was oppressing her, dragging her, but also that he understood spiritual warfare enough to rebuke the demon that was oppressing her.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty interesting level of understanding at his age.
Yeah. So would you say it's possible that like he might run into this type of situation, or this is like a heads up into a gift that he has and a calling that he has?
I think it's both.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, the answer is yes, but there's also a third option.
Okay.
The third option is it already happened. That what he experienced in the dream was an actual encounter, and he was praying for someone that was in a precarious position that didn't know about that he didn't know. My sister, when we were in high school, we had a friend of ours, and she saw she saw an altercation or something happen in his life, and he was in tears, and she prayed for him. I think it was in a dream she saw this, and then she went to school the next day and said, "Hey, are you okay?" And he said, "Yeah, my dad and I got into a real bad fight last night." And so it's that kind of thing of seeing something that could be actually occurring at the moment.
In his dream. And
say that again?
So doing spiritual warfare in his dream.
Right.
May have affected something in the natural.
Okay, yeah.
Does he know anybody who looks like this girl?
You do? He does know someone who looks like her, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So it's a good idea to do this spiritual warfare now for her.
Okay, yeah.
Because just like John said, what you do, what he learned, this is actionable intelligence that he learned about this girl in a dream. Now it's in the natural, and it's time to do warfare.
Yeah. Okay.
It might also
what he did in the dream, doing the natural.
Okay. So necessarily in front of her, but just maybe at home as a family, or
you can do it right where you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the gym, at a prep rally, stand up, start speaking in tongues. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't have to be that dramatic.
Bold, yeah.
Grab a volleyball net and wrap her up so she can't get out of the gym.
No, but I would also, just to build his faith too, I would reach out to her.
Okay, he did say, which is a clue, that the only hour that he sees her is in fitness class, which is in the gym.
Yeah.
And sometimes there is a volleyball net and chairs. Yeah. So.
Yeah,
this is a literal dream almost.
Yeah, it's almost, yeah. Probably speaking about the person that you're in class with.
Yeah, I would just be, "Hey, how you doing?" Just make friends with her if you don't know her. But just be like, "Are you okay? Is everything all right? You seem like you're upset or something," and see if she opens up and, "Well, yeah, I'm really dealing with a difficult decision," or whatever. It was the idea that his words speaking into her life, what was the warfare on the spirit level that she needed. So it could be several ways. It could be becoming a friend and having the opportunity to be like, hey, if you just need somebody to talk to or whatever. But it could also be while you're there, just kind of silently, praying and specifically for her, even in her presence without her knowing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like this girl needs an advocate in the spirit, and it could be her son.
Does she have?
I think that it would be weird to have him actually say, like, "Hey, I had a dream about you." Not
I think
play it by ear.
maybe not what the dream was about, because that would be weird.
I would talk to her. I mean, does she have very many friends?
No.
He would be her first friend, and I think anybody who who will go out of their way to talk to her will be well received. And he'll have to, I would say probably after about 15-20 minutes he could probably mention that, after he's gotten to know her, kind of earn the right to say some things.
It's not like you have to, but be led.
Yeah.
I shared a story where I was in an evangelism class as a kid, and they said pray for a vision of hell. And I did, and I saw a particular kid that I delivered newspapers with dangling on a rope, and a flame came up, and then he fell, and then he saw me perched on a position where I was safe, and he screamed, "Why didn't you tell me?" as he plummeted down to his death in the flaming furnace. It was very vivid. And so I told my mom and dad, and they're like, well, you got to tell this kid. And this kid always wanted to fight, and so we were at the paper station, and he was, being mouthy, and I said, hey, man, let's go outside. And he's like, oh, okay, you want some? You want to go outside? So I went outside, and he was thinking we were going to fight. And I said, hey, I got to tell you something. So I told him about this dream. And I didn't know if it made a difference or not. We didn't fight. But like 5 years later, everybody's out of high school. He's working at the grocery store with my sister. And he comes up to my sister and said, hey, you're John's brother, right? Yeah. Hey, has your brother had any more weird dreams about me lately? Like 5 years later, he still remembered the dream I had.
Oh, yeah.
So be led. He may want to share that with her. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.